Today I want us to see the advantages of faith as spelled out in Psalm 71, where the psalmist realizes he's always opposed by this world, but his God is faithful. Good morning, I'm Pastor Ernie Lewis of the Blue Point Church in Sisney, Illinois, with your thoughts for Monday. You know, many people place their trust in financial securities or worldly possessions, perhaps even in other people who are bound to disappoint us because we have such high expectations for them. The psalmist makes grand proclamation of his trust in God in Psalm 71:1. He says, "In you, O Lord, I put my trust. Let me never be put to shame. Deliver me in your righteousness and cause me to escape. Incline your ear and save me." You know, this declaration that says, "In you, O Lord, I put my trust." This is not like a hollow testimony to the world out there. You know, I am quickly reminded of Jonah's testimony on the ship in a raging storm at sea. Although Jonah was the cause for the great storm because he was actually running from God who had called him to go and preach in the city of Nineveh. Nonetheless, his testimony to the sailors was, "I am a Hebrew, and I fear the Lord, the God of heaven who made the sea and the dry land." Unfortunately, his life choices did not coincide with his testimony that said, "I fear the Lord." The psalmist, on the other hand, here is saying, "In you, O Lord, I put my trust." His proclamation is directly to the Lord who already knows our hearts. And then he says, "Let me never be put to shame." In other words, the faithful hand of God will be seen by the nations around me holding up his servant, no matter what the danger. You know, had David boasted in his great God and then been defeated by the great giant Goliath, the nation of Israel would have been put to shame. But God intervened. Or even when Daniel was placed in the lion's den, he was not put to shame because of God's faithfulness. You know, even the king the next morning ran to the edge of the lion's den and cried out, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve continually, been able to deliver you from the lions?" And David said, "Don't worry, king. My God sent his angels to deliver me." So the psalmist prays, "Deliver me in your righteousness and cause me to escape." You know, God, he's in the business of delivering us, his people, and he always makes a way of escape. So the psalmist cries, "Incline your ear to me and save me," which God does, sometimes even in our doubts. You know, we're reminded of Peter, who was able to walk on the water to Jesus, and yet when he saw the boisterous waves and the wind blowing against him, he began to sink. And yet Jesus reached out and caught him by the hand, even in his doubts. So we need to make that declaration to the Lord today. Not just an empty testimonial to the world around us, but to God. "In you, O Lord, I put my trust." I will firmly rely on the Lord today, no matter what I face in this world. And he will deliver me to show the world his faithfulness, his righteousness, and his great power to deliver his servant.